Welcome to the Roasted Snow Horror Show,
where fear and dread go head to head.
Welcome to the show, where the screams collide, where blood runs cold, and the shadows hide. Each week a fight, two films will clash. Last week's champ, will it burn to ash? The Roasted Snow Horror Show, where fear and gore will always flow. One film wins, one must go. The Roasted Snow Horror Show. Lights go down, the fight begins. Which nightmare takes the final win? You pick your side, we'll break it down. The Roasted Snow, the goriest showdown.
and here are your hosts.
Chris and Ryan.
Welcome, everyone, to the Roasted Snow Horror Show. I'm your host, Ryan Roasted. Everybody thinks my last name is Roasted. That's Chris Snow, Snowman, Sexual Tyrannosaurus, Viagra Pill at the face, all things MJ lover. How are you?
Dude, I'm fantastic. I had a double movie week. Obviously, we saw what we're going to talk about tonight. And, of course, went to see Michael. Loved every minute of it. Took me back to being 5 years old in my living room dancing on the floor. It was great.
Man, the clips I've seen, I still got to get out to see it. But and I think we've talked about it in the past. Like, I used to always watch those music videos. We would record them and have it. So it was like, obviously it was early in our childhood, but, just insane. And I was watching a review of the show that's in Vegas, which you've seen.
Michael Jackson 1, which I've also seen, yep.
Except the guys giving the review, I don't know if they were trying to be funny. It seemed like they were legit. They're just like, oh, there was a meet and greet, but like we didn't realize that Michael Jackson wasn't really in this. I'm like, motherfucker, he died like what, like 14
He's been gone
years
for
ago?
a minute. 17 years. He's been gone 17 years.
Jeez. Yeah, I was like, okay, hope they're kidding, but like they didn't seem to. But anyway, neither here nor there. Tonight we are covering Over Your Dead Body, which is
Your dead body.
Oh no, Over Your Dead Body. Fuck off. It has my guy. I don't know how you feel about him, but I love me some Jason Segel all the time.
I mean, ever since Forgetting Sarah Marshall came out.
One of my favorite
Hilarious.
movies of all time.
Hilarious.
So this will probably be riddled with Jason Segel quotes. Between that, you got I Love You Man, you got
How I Met Your Mother.
that is one of my favorite
She's
shows.
never seen Star Wars, Barney. The only people who haven't seen Star Wars are the people in Star Wars. And that's because they lived it. They lived the Star Wars.
She's never seen Star Wars. Ted, the only people in the universe who haven't seen Star Wars are the characters in Star Wars, and that's because they lived them, Ted. That's because they lived the Star Wars.
Yeah. First of all, he's not a bear. He's a Wookiee.
How can Chewbacca live on Endor with these Ewoks? That does not make sense.
if Chewbacca just
Wookiees don't live on Endor.
you must have quit. So Jason Segel, obviously he's very comedy heavy, so a little different role for him. It's not quite a true horror movie. It's a lot of horror comedy. There's a lot of bloodiness in this one. There's and I'm wearing my Savannah banana hat because there are a lot of parts of this movie that go bananas.
Bananas.
It is, and I don't know if this is a fair assessment because I feel like I wear this hat way too much, which is a great thing, but also it's like, is it getting oversaturated with just let's do the most batshit crazy thing that we can do? Like compared to last year, I don't think it's like last year was you had like Sinners that wasn't really batshit crazy, but it was like, it was a buildup. It was really good. Weapons was a little more batshit crazy. Bring Her Back. That was pretty low key. That was, pretty suspenseful. So, not that I
think you wore it when we talked about Megan is Missing too during that episode.
Well, yeah, I have
because you listed it.
Yeah, I don't. I was having a good night, and you got to fucking bring up that.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah. But. This one also starring Samara Weaving, which we just covered in Ready or Not. Here we come. Here I come. I already forget the titles. Ready or Not too, but it's a great movie. She obviously has been in this genre quite a bit. I know she wants to try and get around it, but she keeps finding these movies that really
she's sort of becoming like the new screen queen, huh?
Yeah, and it's one of the rare movies where she gets to use her native accent. She just uses it, whether that was written or not. I thought it was pretty cool to see that. We saw that at the beginning of Scream 6 when she is in the cold open. But just a little backstory on this movie that I didn't know going into it, and I'm curious if you knew. But it actually, first of all, I believe there's a Japanese movie with the same title, but not the same story. So people get a little confused on that. But this is taken off of a Norwegian movie that's on Netflix, and it's called The Trip.
On the Dagger.
Yes, which I wasn't.
I don't even know if that's how you say it.
But I don't know if you've seen the Trip, or
I haven't watched the OG. No.
Okay, I actually watched it after I saw this, so I'm able to get some good comparisons here. However, I'm going to try to just judge this movie on this movie alone. I don't know. You want to give a spoiler free? Are there any thoughts you have outside of this going into this episode?
Yeah. So full disclosure, and this is funny to say because I actually didn't do a ton of prep work going into this film. I like to go into some of them blind, particularly if it's one that I don't know is coming up, because this one kind of came out of the blue. We're like, yeah, we're going to check this one out. Didn't realize until we actually got the movie going that it's like, oh, this is one of those action/horror/comedy films. I mean, Jason Segel obviously is like, okay, there's going to be some laughs in this one, but I was pleasantly surprised by that because I thought this was really good, and I didn't realize until we were doing the credits, same thing, that Jorma Taccone of The Lonely Island directed this film.
I didn't realize that until I went back because I was showing some coworkers. They're like, "Oh, what movie are you covering?" And I was like, "Oh, here, I saw this last night. Here we go." And yeah, it pops up, from The Lonely Island. I'm like, "The fuck?"
Right? And I love all the things that those guys do, like obviously Dick in a Box. I'm on a
Pop
boat.
Star, never stopping.
Bro, I could quote that movie until top of the world. Wait, oh man, I gotta go tweet a picture of my dick. It's a great conundrum. It's a great conundrum. But all that to say,
you were up there for like 10 seconds. Man, that's a third of the way to Mars.
Oh my god. I got Seal to sing to you.
Yeah.
Ashley Wednesday.
Connor for real. Yeah. Costco samples like a motherfucker.
Patrick Stewart money.
Dinky
classic. Dinky Nuts. Classic movie. I'm just putting it out there, by the way, without even watching the film, I can do the donkey roll. I do a pretty good donkey roll.
If you're watching,
right,
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Watch Pop Star. You'll understand exactly what we're talking about. Style Boys.
Yeah, I fucked it like the U.S. military fucked Bin Laden. He's like, he was like, this girl stayed up with current events from all around the world. More specifically, one event that time Osama bin Laden got shot in the head.
Fuck Bin Laden. All that to say, how did we get there? Oh yeah, Jorma Taccone's a great director.
This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
And all the fantasticness.
My favorite song. But yes, so and after seeing the original movie, I have some thoughts on that, but I'm going to try and save that to the end and give some comparisons here to that. But you want to walk us through, spoiler free, just kind of what the general premise is?
Without further ado, so pretty clever premise, but our boy Jason Segel plays a director. He's had one big break, or I wouldn't even call it a big break. He's had one film that's actually a feature film, but he's kind of been having the director's version of writer's block after that, and he's only been directing little ads that pop up on your phone and pop up on YouTube, stuff like that. So he's in a horrible marriage. He's married to Samara Weaving, Lisa, and he is planning on killing Lisa and collecting her life insurance money. So the plan is they're going to take a weekend away, have a time at the cabin. He's going to murder her, and he gets one of his buddies to kind of be part of the plan, and he's going to kill her, collect on a life insurance policy, which he's promised some of that money to his buddy if he helps her. But things go rather awry because his wife may have some plans of her own, and on top of all of this, there may be 3 intruders in the home that no one was expecting that really throw a wrench into things. So things from the beginning spiral a little bit and then spiral a lot of it and then go completely bananas. You saw what I did there?
They do a donkey roll. Okay, no more donkey roll. That's it. That's it. So yeah, guys, if you have not seen it, please go out and see it and get the fuck out of here. We're gonna start talking about spoiler territory. So movie starts right in one of those ads that Jason Segel is directing. It's called later in the movie like a pop-up ad, but like if you're watching a YouTube video, an ad comes on. I believe this one's for a cell phone carrier. So he's like, and you can just see it in his face. He's drudging through life. I do think it's funny in all these movies that he does, like specifically for getting Sarah Marshall, like he's doing music for movies. Now he's directing movies. Like it's pretty funny, the contrast
Running
there.
theme there.
Yeah. But so, and it's very clear he doesn't have control even over this little tiny ad. He's asked by a producer, whoever, to change it just a little bit. And he's like, okay, yeah. And he goes out of his way to talk to some of his crew and like, oh yeah, Lisa and I are going up to the cabin this weekend. Yeah, it's kind of weird. She wants to do this hike all by herself. And if you know a little bit about the premise, he's setting this up to make it look like she went missing hiking, but he's really awkward doing it because like no one's asking him about it, and he's just like, yeah, Lisa, like it's supposed to snow, but she really wants to do this hike by herself. It's a little crazy, and he tells pretty much everyone that he sees, just throwing that little nugget out there.
My wife's going hiking. Wife's going hiking this weekend. She's crazy.
Yeah, so he goes to like the hardware store. He gets some rope, some duct tape, a hacksaw, and starts packing up his car. He's going home. He drives a little piece of shit car, but they live in a really nice house, but you see it's for sale. So kind of putting some plot points together here.
He put that money from the movie into all the things that he can no longer afford. Thought he caught a break. That's what all the celebrities and pro athletes do.
Mm-hmm. So he goes home to pick up Lisa, Samara Weaving, and what I did find funny here was there is a cutaway to where because he goes sees his dad, who his dad is in a nursing home, and his dad's really funny. He turned out to be one of my favorite characters, but his dad is a real hard ass. He even says, you know what the problem with you is you're soft. You need a good war. And Jason Segel's like, yeah, war's good. That's the lesson I'll take from you. Like, yeah, I need to do a war because he's like, I was in this war, I was in that war, and you all are pussies, this and that. But there's and I'm curious to see if you noticed it, because there's the picture of them at their wedding on the mantle, and Samara Weaving is in the same dress that she's in Ready or Not. She's got the turtleneck looking thing.
I did not notice that, but now that you bring it up, I am picturing it in my mind.
Yep. And I was like, the moral of the story is, as hard as it would be, don't marry Samara Weaving. Although, I'd do it.
100%. Like, that's like, yeah.
Devil
how do you say
bullshit.
no?
This, like, fine. I'll do it.
I'll put up with all this, I guess.
Yep. And as he's packing up the car, one of his neighbors, who is a friend of Lisa, comes down. She's like, "Hey, happy hunting," and he's like, "The fuck." Find out more about that later. But Samara Weaving gets in the car. They start going on their trip, and this is where you start really seeing into their relationship as how they can't stand being around each other.
They hate each other. They hate each other.
Like every little thing annoys each other. They played it off really well, and I do like it because they. Obviously, I believe there's a 12-year age gap between the two, and it's pretty noticeable. It actually looks more than 12-year age gap, but she even says it's when they're talking about their issues, and she's like, I thought marrying someone 10 years older than me would give me someone more mature and this and that. So I like that they developed that. I think they had pretty good chemistry.
Agreed. That's the scene in the car when they're driving up it's every relationship that's on its way out. You guys that are listening, we've all been in those relationships where it's like, this is over. We're just kind of in it. And everything the other person does, you just want to jump out the window of the car while it's moving.
And it's awkward. It is, it's funny in a kind of pathetic way. You
I
find
thought
out.
marrying someone 10 years older would be much.
Well,
And what made me laugh about that is like she's talking to Jason Segel.
yeah. Who is the least mature person on the planet?
He's a 20-year-old in a 50-year-old's body.
He is. He's a giant, though. But you find out through this that Lisa is a struggling actress, and she's going for this play, and he's reading it, or she's reading it. So they kind of get this small talk going, and what kind of sets up their tension, their talk is she's like, yeah, this director is kind of, egotistical. And then Jason Segel's like, oh, it's kind of in our DNA. And she goes, yeah, but he's a theater director. And he's like, what's that supposed to mean? He's like, I do film. She goes, well, you did do film. Now you just do pop-up ads. And he takes exception to that, does not like that. And
she really pushed the button with that one.
Mm-hmm. And which what you do in those types of relationships, you guys just find what, and even healthy relationships.
You know exactly what to say, how to say it. That's just going to get right on another person's skin.
Right. And it does. So then he ends up bringing up, God, I forget the guy's name, but it's one of her scene partners. And he's like, oh, did you read this scene? Was his name Diego or something? Like
Diego or,
I mean, it's not that important, but he brings up this other guy, and it's just like, oh, that seemed intentional, which obviously you find out about later. This movie has a lot of twists and turns, which we'll get into, but it's a lot more than its surface level premise. If you want to take it away when they get to the cabin.
Absolutely. So you guys kind of understand at this point, we've kind of developed a relationship between the two. We understand what Dan's plan is because they do arrive to get out of the car. They get things going. Dan is kind of trying to set up like everything's normal. He's kind of trying to take her off guard, right? So he's going to cook her favorite dinner. He's going to do all these things. He's going to basically set the tone, set the mood that everything's fine, and then he's going to get ready to kill her because his idea is that if he can wile her, get her drunk, get her to sleep after her favorite dinner, he can strangle her, and then he can dismember her body, and then he can sink it in the lake. So that's what the rope, the duct tape, the hacksaw was all for. He has this whole thing going out. But this is where the tables kind of get turned, because before he can put her under, he's going to use the old chloroform rag gag and put her under. She turns the tables on him, and she tases his ass, which is very funny to me.
He's drooling, and she's like, ew.
You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey? There's a scene where he's gonna fight the guys at the gas station, and then he gets tased, and then he just saw the ground. He's like
foaming at the mouth. Yeah.
Hey! Let's kick the shit out of this crazy asshole.
That's exactly what Jason Segel's like. Oh, that's the first thing I thought of. But she tases his ass, ties him up, pulls out one, because the cabin, there's one of his dad's guns are there. She grabs one of the guns and she starts threatening him. She's like, they kind of start spilling the beans of what they were going to do. So Dan pretty much has to admit what he was going to do. He's like, yeah, because he's got the rope, he's got the duct tape, he's all the things. So he has to admit, like, I was going to kill you. And again, all of their baggage, all their hatred for each other is kind of coming out here. But he admits his scheme, and he goes even further and tells her exactly how else he was going to do it, because he has a buddy. I think his name was it Harry?
Oh, yeah, I forget his buddy's name.
His buddy Harry was going to come up as well and help him do it. So while they're doing all this, again, she kind of reveals her scheme that she was going to do it. She was going to make it look like a hunting accident.
Which they have a really cool back and forth here, because Jason Segel gets so offended by that. He goes, you were just going to fucking shoot me? He's like, at least I was going to knock you out. You weren't going to feel a thing because I'm considerate.
You were just going to shoot me in the woods without me even knowing?
And I love this interaction because obviously Lisa knows exactly what's going on. She saw him putting rocks in a bag on the boat, and so she pieces it all together.
It's been building up to this before he goes and cooks the dinner.
And then he ends up saying, he's like, you'd never get away with it. And she's like, why not? Like, all I got to do is put on the waterworks for the cops. And he goes, because you're the worst fucking actress I've ever seen. Like,
he presses her button with that one. And she's pointing a gun at him while he's saying all this.
Yeah. And you find out that he didn't even put her in his movie because they were together at the time, not even a little role. So it's like, damn, like that, like you said, they have a lot of baggage that they are slowly unpacking here.
They're kind of confronting this divide between them. As you know, when you're getting ready to kill each other, you often do.
And Jason Segel is trying to hide the fact that he's doing it for the insurance money. So he brings up Diego again, and he's like,
because they have no money. They're like, we have no money.
He's like, you know, you fucked him behind my back at this party, and then I can't fucking stand you anyway because you belittle me, this and that. All these things that are, you know, that happen in real relationships. And at this point, you see his buddy finally shows up and is kind of coming up behind her.
Harry
smacks her with a hammer, but then you start getting kind of the narrative structure on this, because then they go back to, what was it, 3 days prior or something, or a week earlier, and you see him talking to his buddy about kind of the plan, and he goes, yep, you know, we have a life insurance policy, it's $100,000, you get half once it's done. And it's kind of funny because when he's driving home after he bought all the murder supplies, Harry calls him and he's like, okay, I need you there at noon sharp tomorrow. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, hey, when this is done, can we take the boat out? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, we can't take the boat out.
Harry's kind of that dumbass, like
such a dumbass,
idiot savant, buddy that, you know, everyone's got. It's like, yeah, he's 9 hours late. He tells him he's there at noon. He's 9 hours late.
Looking at his watch.
He's that guy. He's the George to Dan's Lenny.
Yeah,
or the Lenny to Dan's George.
God damn it. Yeah, and we get that reference in this. So, so you get this flashback, and it's the first of many flashbacks. I thought it really started to be kind of like a Hateful Eight type thing, like Tarantino.
Yeah. Lots of like in medias res back and forth,
which I love when movies do that, because I'm like, oh shit, this doesn't like, because this is where it really starts.
It's not linear.
Yeah, it doesn't really go off the rails, but this is where it really starts picking up, because obviously now Samara Weaving is knocked out. The tables have turned again. She is tied up, and they take her to the basement. They're going to do the deed. And, you know, fucking Harry, he can't stop from opening his mouth. Samara Weaving wakes up, and he's like, oh, you know, we're doing this for the money. And Jason Segel's like, shut the fuck up. And then Samara's like, oh, you little pussy, you're doing this for the money. And he goes, yeah, 50 grand, man. And then Jason Segel's like, no, shut the fuck up. And Samara is like, it's $1 million, and I will give you 750 if you shoot him in the fucking face right now.
The tables have turned again.
Yeah, so they now it's a three-way conversation that just, it gets so hilarious. They just, you know, they're talking about killing each other. I believe I forget how Lisa gets out of the restraints. Oh yeah, the restraints aren't very tight, because
they're not tight well. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, she gets out of it really quick. And so then her and
now it's a Mexican standoff. They're like,
right, you need guns for it to be a Mexican standoff.
Harry's trying to be like, true.
You need guns on me for it to be a Mexican standoff.
Harry's trying to be like, who do I side with here?
And meanwhile, Jason Segel and Samara Weaving are fighting over the gun. They are, you know, and you know exactly where this is going to go. They, you know, the trigger is pulled, and boom, Harry is gonzo.
Bye, Harry.
And now these two people that were going to commit a murder now have committed a murder against. I'm not going to call him an innocent bystander, but you know, he hadn't done anything yet aside from hitting her with a hammer. And this is one place where the two movies take a turn, because in the original, which this part I prefer, is Harry comes in with a shovel, because you know he was in World War II, and he knocks her over the head with a shovel.
He better have been in World War II. Runs around. Ding, ding, ding.
And he also gets shot in the foot or in the knee in that movie. And then like the battle goes upstairs, and then the wife says, you know, hey, we should stop him. Meaning stop the bleeding, and then he just shoots him. So it's one of
problem solved.
Yeah, that's one of the ways that it happens. But this battle continues upstairs now, because they're still going after the gun.
They're like chasing each other around the house.
Yeah, they get up to the bedroom, and they're going at it, and the gun fires off into the ceiling, and boom, 3 fucking people pop down from the ceiling, and then there's another cutaway, which really reminded me of the Hateful Eight. If you want to take it from here, because I know your boy, our guy, Mickey Altieri.
Mr. Altieri himself, Timothy Olyphant, plays Pete.
Yep.
So our boys, Pete, Todd, and I'll never forget this name because it's a medicine, Allegra. I was
played by Juliette Lewis.
Played by the wonderful Juliette Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Fall through the ceiling. They land on Dan and Lisa, knock them both out. Like I said, the in medias res kind of goes back and explains that these three, they're escaped convicts, and they happen to break into they're convicted killers, actually. So they're more than convicts, I should say. They're killers. They have no problem killing people. They've recently escaped prison with Allegra. Pete and Todd are the killers. They escaped prison, joined up with Allegra, and they're just on the run. And they happened to break into this house because Allegra, and now this is one that sticks out to me because if you remember, I think it was like 3 years ago, I think it was Arkansas or somewhere in the Midwest where a corrections officer fell in love with a convicted killer, and her name was Vicky, and she broke the killer out, and they went on the run. They got like a state or two away, maybe 3 states away, I don't remember, until the cops caught them, and then she killed herself. And they got the convict again. Well, similarly here, Allegra, the corrections officer, is madly in love with Pete because she's incredibly stupid.
And you can tell right off the bat, Pete isn't into it. He's into
Pete does not give. He's like, she was my way out, essentially. So he doesn't care.
She even says like, "I love you," and he's like, "Uh-huh."
In Timothy Olyphant's fun way, where he's like, "Yeah, uh-huh."
Well, because Billy was a sick fuck who wanted to get away with it. He's a sick fuck.
Mickey's a sick fuck that wants to be caught.
Billy was a sick fuck who tried to get away with it. Mickey is a sick fuck who wants to get caught. Yeah.
Billy's mother, man.
Billy's mother.
Maybe he survived Scream 2, committed a few more murders, and then was taken and has the alter ego of Pete, and then was in prison and then broken out. So this is where my mind went, because I'm like, any role he's in, all I see him in is Mickey Altieri.
Which is
funny because of how much younger he looked, dude.
Yeah, he aged quick. It's a Scream multiverse, I'm telling you.
It is. Yep.
So we have these three, unstable corrections officer, Allegra. They kind of explain, yep, we're killers, we're on the run. Allegra helped us break out. We broke into this house to hide. When you guys arrived, we ran into the attic. We didn't want to get caught. Now their plan is, one, they demand money from these two because they think you guys have money. We want the money, give us what we have, but they're going to go take it a step further because their plan is not only do they want the money, but they're going to grape Dan and kill Dan as part of the plan. Despite Pete himself being like, "Hey, I know you. You're the director. I'm actually a big fan of your movie."
And he's like, they get into like, because Jason Segel has his pants down because he's about to get graped, and he's like crying, and he thinks he's gonna get out of it now because he's connecting with Pete, because Pete's like, yeah, he's like, "Did you see my movie in the theater?" He goes, "No, they showed it all the time in prison." And he's just like, "I just love that movie." And he's like, "Well, I wanted a different ending." And he's like, "No, that's your movie. You got to stand on that shit. You got to stand up for yourself." So
he's like they're getting ready to assault him, and he's like trying to build him up, being like, no, you got to stand on that.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Okay, here you go." And Todd, first of all, Todd, he is, if you thought Harry was a dumbass, Todd is the muscle. Like, he's a big motherfucker.
He's truly the Lenny.
Yeah. And so like when they first fall through the ceiling, the first line he says is, "That's your favorite movie."
That's your favorite.
Then you get cut through because when they're hiding in the attic, they play, they're playing charades, and it turns out it's Mamma Mia is the favorite movie, and that's when so I love it when movies cut to that. And but I had to look it up because I don't know how much you watched WWE back in the day, but there was a guy named Perry Saturn, and he looks just like him. And Perry Saturn had like the same like dumb gimmick. He walked around with a mop with a googly eyes and a mouth on it, and he called it Moppy, and it was his girlfriend.
Moppy. Looking for this, Perry? Huh? The stupid mop? The same stupid mop you carried around for weeks? You know what? You have given this stupid mop more attention than you've given to me. The mop's stupid and you're stupid. You know what? Make a decision. The mop or me, Perry? Which one?
You're welcome.
So I kept waiting for Moppy to show up, but it wasn't.
He's somewhere in the attic. That'd be a perfect Easter egg in the attic in the corner.
There's a little Moppy in there.
Little Moppy.
So yeah, Todd is he's just there, like he wants to eat everything. Like he's
the big dum dum.
He's such a dum dum. But sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I'm getting ready to hand off because all of this is about to take place. But Lisa, in her kindness, she offers to, hey, if you don't do this, I will take you to the bank in the morning and get you all the money you want.
Which I thought was neat because then it's the first sense that you get that they actually still love each other.
There's something still there.
Yeah, they still deeply care about each other, even though maybe it's not working out quite well. And what I forgot to mention at the beginning is you said like he's trying to cook her favorite meal, this and that. But even in that conversation, she's like, steak's not my favorite. Like
I was expecting him to like poison it somehow or put some sedative.
Right? Yeah, that's what I thought too. But so they concoct this new plan, and she's like, you guys can't touch us. And I'll take you to the bank in the morning and get you. I forget the amount. It's a pretty good amount.
It's whatever. It's essentially whatever they have left, right?
Yeah, which you already know their plan is still going to be to kill them, even after they get their money, which they say as much upstairs. So they're concocting their plan upstairs. And Lisa and Dan they're tied to a post essentially back to back, and they have a conversation about like, how did we get here, this and that. It's a really sweet conversation. And you see Jason Segel kind of look at he knocks a billiard ball out of a pool table, and he kind of just has it, and he yells upstairs for Todd to come down. Doesn't come down with Moppy, but he comes down, and basically Jason Segel's like, I gotta take a shit, and Todd's just like, hey, can they take a shit? And he's like, okay, no funny business. Well, Jason Segel comes out of the bathroom and has put the billiard ball in a sock and just knocks the fuck out of Todd. So they're able to escape and get out. And then this big chase scene happens where so much shit goes down. There's Jason Segel gets stabbed in the foot. There's a lot of, I'm not gonna say like full dismemberment, but there's a lot of bloody shit that goes on. Like Samara Weaving is the shit kicked out of her. Like she gets thrown through a table, and they're all trying to because the bad guys got to keep them alive so that they can get the money while they're trying to escape. It's hard to put into words exactly how much happens because it's a pretty long action sequence that
I wanted, all I could think when this was happening, I wanted Benny Hill to be playing in the background. That's how I was like, this is great.
That would have been good. Yeah, because it's, people end up outside, then back inside, and, Dan and Lisa.
Out of the foot and then moved it. Yep. I was like, this is actually pretty good.
And not to mention it, but Todd did get shot in the ass when he was shot through the attic. So like he keeps bringing that up. He's like, hey, you shot my ass.
Shot me in the ass. Izzy!
Yeah, last shot in the ass. As long as I don't get shot. Mummy reference for you Mummy fans there. We're just
check out the Mummy episode.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So basically it comes to this climax. They're able to take out Todd. Todd is going after Dan, and Samara Weaving stabs him with like 8 different knives.
Well, and one key thing, just to interject real quick, during all this happening, Lisa also gets the keys to the boat. You remember when Harry was talking, can we take the boat out? During this sequence, she gets the keys to the boat and then moves into this part. Sorry, I just wanted to add that because
yeah. So they're trying to get to the boat. They're trying to escape somehow. But friggin' Perry Saturn, Todd, he's getting stabbed. He's getting stabbed with everything. And I forget what the final shot is that puts him down. Doesn't kill him. We find that out later, but it puts him down. He just starts bleeding out, and he says something stupid. He's like, I got shot in the ass. I forget exactly what he says, but falls over. He's bleeding out. They're like, fuck that guy. Jesus Christ. They go outside, and this is where it was like, drop your jaw drops because a lot of shit starts to happen here. Which, if you're cool with it, I'll pass it off to you.
Absolutely. So the goal here, remember that Lisa's got the key to the boat, and they're wanting to escape. But as they get outside, they realize that Pete and Allegra are not quite gone. They recapture them, and I brought this up to Ryan before we started this episode because Pete has a very diabolical plan of what he wants to do with Dan with a lawnmower. So the plan is he's going to use said lawnmower to murder Dan with. And this is where I had 2 movie references I was thinking of. I was, of course, thinking of Sinister because of the infamous lawnmower
Can I
scene.
think of the Can I guess the second one?
100%. You know it.
It's Bloodlines.
No, it's not. It's Hostile.
Oh, yeah.
You remember in Hostile when he has the chainsaw and he goes through his hand and cuts his fingers off? Mm-hmm. So as Pete is hatching this plan with Dan, he does end up cutting off 2 of Dan's fingers with said lawnmower. Pretty brutal, pretty nasty. This is where the gore starts kind of coming out.
Yeah, and while this is going on, so Dan's face is this close to the lawnmower blade. He's like, mention it. You know, I've always wanted to rip someone's face off with a lawnmower. Like, you know, he's a sick fuck. He's Mickey Altieri. He's a sick fuck.
He's Mickey Altieri. He's got the.
He's a sick fuck who wants to get caught.
Exactly.
And then this car, this really nice sports car, just comes, you know, speeding down the road, and it hits Timothy Oliphant. Just runs him over, and it ends up being Jason Segel's dad pops out, and he goes, "Who the fuck broke my window?" And so then there's another cutback scene to 2 days ago or something. He's at his nursing home, and he gets a call from a caretaker,
the neighbor,
the neighbor that had driven past and had seen that a window was broken and a pot was out, and then he's like, "Oh, this isn't right." So he talks all this shit to the nurse, and he ends up knocking the nurse out and taking his sports car, and he's trying to drive it, and he's just like, "What the fuck is this music?" Blah blah blah. And then like 10 minutes later, he's just like, "Yeah, fuck this, fuck that." He's all about it. So that's how he got there. And
hilarious.
He comes out, gets a shotgun. At this point, Todd has come back out and is holding Samara Weaving at knife point. I think he has a knife to her throat, and you know, he's like, "Come on, old man, don't do this." And then,
suffice to say, Michael doesn't give a fuck.
It's a mind-blowing scene.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Because he literally blows off half this guy's face with the shotgun as he is holding his daughter-in-law at knife point. And at that point, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like that, bananas. That's what it is.
Yep, completely bananas.
And unfortunately here, there's another scuffle that breaks out.
Allegra comes back into the picture.
Yeah, Allegra comes back into the picture. She is she stabbed? Or no, she's shot in the foot.
She stabs Michael.
She stabs Michael, in the back. And it goes through the front. There's an exit wound. And then I believe it's Jason Segel. Or no, he, in response, shoots her in the foot with the shotgun, which you see that in a lot of movies. You don't see what happens next in a lot of movies with her, but then unfortunately Michael is thrown chest first into the lawnmower. But before he is able to bite off part of Mickey Altieri's nose, and he's like, "Your nose tastes like shit." So he goes out like a complete badass. But I was a little bummed that they didn't actually put someone's face into the lawnmower, as disgusting as that would be, because they kept teasing it. They kept teasing it, and they never did it. But it's the same with the ceiling fan and Primate. I will always be pissed about that. But Allegra goes back. Allegra goes back into the house after her and Pete have a little come to Jesus, and Pete's basically like, "Yeah, I don't need you." And so she goes back into the house to try and nurse her wound, and she takes off her shoe, takes off her sock, and I was squirming in my seat because, like, footstep doesn't really bother me in movies unless it's like a fucking toenail getting ripped off.
Like in The Mummy. I was just about to say that. I was like, you were saying a different tune last week, buddy.
Yeah, no. Foot, fine. Feet, toenails, no. But this one, even because like her in Saw 5, the guy gets his hand cut and it's kind of like that. This one, she's like trying to put it back together, and she finally gets it to a point. It's excruciating to watch. She finally gets it to a point where she can get it wrapped and back, and she's finally able to relax for a second. And then Jason Segel standing behind her and just fucking kicks her foot down. And you know, she pleads for her life, this and that. They have a conversation. At this point, it's like he's fought back a little bit, but he still kind of has that, you know, passive mentality. The whole reason he brought his buddy Harry along was because he couldn't dismember a body. He didn't want to. But
he's non-confrontational. That's why he's like pushover with the producers and everything. He's just not a confrontational guy.
So he has the shotgun, and without warning, he fucking shoots her, and it fucking caves in her face, and she is no more Allegra. She is no more.
Exit stage right.
Yep. And then from here, we get a little bit of a boat chase, but our guy Mickey is still around. So if you want to finish us off here.
Well, I want to add as an aside, because earlier when Pete and Michael are struggling after Michael shoots Allegra in the foot, Lisa and Dan take Pete's car or Michael's car, or the car that he stole, and they were going to try to escape, but they crashed pretty quickly.
Because Pete is shooting at them, and they end up crashing the car, and fucking Samara Weaving, like half her ear is blown off. It looks like.
The poor girl has had a rough go the last few movies,
but she's a badass. Yeah, but she's
a fighter.
Gets the shit kicked out of her a lot. Yeah, but so Jason Segel's even like, I want to start a relationship new. I don't want to lie anymore. Your face looks like shit.
He's practicing the confrontational thing. Yeah, I was going to say exactly what I mean. So this happens. He actually can. So remember, Lisa had that boat key that I was talking about. So he convinces her. He's like, Lisa, take the boat. Get out of here. He makes his way back to the house, and that's when, yes, he confronts Allegra. He has zero qualms about kicking her, breaking her leg, basically, and then taking a shot to the face. So I like the turnaround for Dan. That's got to feel really good. Serial killer in me coming out. So as Lisa's making her way to the boat, unfortunately, like you said, Pete is still alive. He follows Lisa, takes her captive on the boat, and commandeers the whole thing. But before they can take off, Dan, our boy Dan, has made his way to the boat, knowing where Lisa's going to be, makes his way onto it.
How does he make his way onto it, though?
Would you like to indulge us?
In true,
Jason Segel fashion.
He's at the dock, and the boat's spinning, and he's about to jump in, and the rope that was tied to the dock gets around his foot and just slams him off. And so he's basically like wakeboarding, trying to get over there, and he ends up getting to the boat that way. But it's not like he swam there.
I shouldn't say it was waiting for him and he made his way onto it. It was very he would have, but true Jason Segel fashion. He is out there now. So we've got Dan, Lisa, and Pete all on the boat. Obviously, Dan and Pete are in a struggle at this point because Pete's the last man standing, right? Todd's dead. Michael's dead. Henry's his name, not Harry.
Henry.
Henry. Henry. It's an H word. Yeah. Who names their kid either of these things? Come on.
How's a baby
Allegra's dead.
Like, that's Harold right there.
That's a Harold. What is this, 1950? So they're fighting, and this is actually kind of cool because you guys remember that the items that Dan was going to use to sink Lisa's dismembered body are there in the boat. So the bag of rocks, the rope. Lisa basically anchors, gets Pete caught up. I guess is the best way to put it. The rope knocks the rocks over the thing. Pete gets dragged under. He's taken care of, and before this happens, Lisa is actually able to recover the severed fingers that Dan lost in the wheelbarrow.
His wedding ring on there, yeah.
And his wedding ring is on one of them. It's his ring finger. So she gives him his fingers with the wedding ring back on, and they kind of have that moment where, hey, we've just gone through this whole thing. Let's reconcile. Let's work on this.
But they're like, yeah, we're still shit out of luck. We're broke. We have this and that, and Lisa's like, well, I got a plan for that.
And here's the idea.
And they show you through a montage that basically, they put on their acting chops, and they and there is a scene earlier in the movie, which it's impossible not to skip over things because so much happens in this movie.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a scene where her and Dan are hiding. And I almost screamed out in the theater because I was like, why the fuck do all these, in every single horror movie or any movie ever, that there's a chase and there is a fucking closet, a paneled closet. Let's hide in there. So
every time Michael Myers just knows where people, it's like, well, there's a closet. There's definitely someone in there.
They, but they have this conversation because before that, she has a shotgun pointed at her and she puts on the waterworks and she's like, I'm pregnant. It's not my husband's. turns out, obviously, that was all an act, and he was like, "That's the best fucking acting I've ever seen in my life." It's kind of like that in oh God, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where they're just like, "That's the best acting performance I've ever seen."
I was thinking in Ace Ventura when Einhorn's pointing the gun at him, he's like, "Please don't kill me. I don't want to die."
Yeah. So, sorry. But she has found her acting chops. So they play it up for these guys, they broke in and they did all this, hook, line, and sinker. They get a movie deal out of it. They're doing the press tour.
And guess who plays Hollywood Dan? Mr. Camille Nanjiani.
Yes. And
I also want to say, and for all of you gamers out there, I don't know if you've noticed this, all of you gamers out there, the guy who plays the movie version of Pete in the film that they're making is a Finnish actor named Ilkka Ville, who all my gamer friends might know as the one and only Alan Wake.
Yeah.
I was like, I pulled one of the ooh. That was me when I saw Ilkka Ville.
Dan tears off his shirt and it's just ripped.
He's all Camille Nanjiani's like shredded right now.
Yeah. So it's it's a fun way to end it.
Andy Cohen shows up as like this is a movie.
Yeah, it's so random at the end, but it's one of those movies where obviously I had a lot of fun with it, but I do want to get into a couple beefs that I had with it. And it was after the fact. During the movie, I was like, the only thing I really didn't like was the fact that it was another batshit crazy movie between you had Ready or Not, you had They Will Kill You, you had Primate, you had The Mummy in some cases was batshit crazy.
Definitely.
So I just kind of thought it was getting a little oversaturated, but it doesn't really hurt it at all, I guess. It's not the movie's fault that it was still badass. I'm still going to watch it again. But this is where I have an issue is because I ended up watching the original movie, which
give us a compare and contrast here.
It's the same fucking movie, almost shot for shot.
No kidding.
Almost shot for shot, and the dialogue is probably 87% the exact same. So going back to the directing style, like the sets are almost the same. The every little detail that I could find pretty much matched up to. There are a few differences, but that's where I was like, man, I wish I'm glad I saw this one first and then saw the original, because if I had seen the original and wanted to see this, I would have been disappointed.
Because you're seeing basically the same thing.
Exactly. Whereas I had seen the original Speak No Evil before seeing the James McAvoy one, and that changed up a lot and was able to give me something new.
Okay, that's
some
fair.
of the major differences in this one is the grape scene. First of all, it's 3 male convicts that escape, not 2 male, 1 female.
Original.
Yeah, in the original. And they go heavy on I think one of the guys' name is like Horsecock Dave or something. And they really want to grape Dan, and they talk about SAing the wife. None of it actually happens, much like in this movie, but they go, it's a lot darker dialogue with that part.
Very Last House on the Left-ish.
Very, very, they're inching towards that territory. I mentioned the one Henry getting shot. He dies right away in the current movie, and in the original, he gets shot in the leg and then dies a little later. But the main premise of it, and obviously I watched the English dub version, so maybe in
no subtitles.
No, I wasn't in a reading mood. But the voice actors do a really good job in the original. I guess I was just like, I wish there would have been a little bit more creativity there, because I thought I had seen a preview for a movie like this. So that's why I did some research into it. What other differences did they have in this? The dad, it was the same thing. He escapes his nursing home and comes and hits them. There's the lawnmower scene again.
So is the original played up as a comedy similar to this one?
Yeah. It's the same tone. They have a lot of the same tone, the same marital issues, the same murder motives, the same plans. It is almost a shot for shot remake, which was very disappointing looking back at it. But I think you'll only feel that way if you saw the original before seeing this one. So hopefully you see this one before that. It is still a really good movie. They're both good movies. I like them both.
I'll check it out this weekend.
Yeah,
It'll be on
and
Netflix.
I'm interested to see what you think, but it's still very entertaining, and especially after you've seen the Jason Segel version. You know, they obviously there's some cultural differences, like they don't like her because she's Swedish and this and that. So there's a few other things there that don't match up entirely, but like the ending is pretty much the same. Where I've talked about Speak No Evil has drastically different endings, which I brought that up, but that's just one of the major beefs I've had with it, and that was just after the fact. If we recorded this a few days later or a few days earlier, maybe I don't watch that movie and I don't have this thought on it. But with that being said, The Mummy still wins. Keeps the title.
100%.
With this one, just because it is so batshit crazy, I am just ready for a movie to scare me. Which we got Hokum coming up this week. We got Obsession. We got Backrooms. We got Passenger. There's a couple other ones that I saw that were coming out in May. I'm like, fuck, we got to figure out a way to sneak these in. But
we might do a special episode of two. We'll do 2 movie reviews.
Yeah.
To throw in some additional, because we got some bangers.
Yeah, May is a heavy fucking hitter, which I am so excited for. There are so many different movies that we're going to touch on, and hopefully one of these can just scare the shit out of me, because some parts of The Mummy did scare me, and it was bloody, it was gory, it really made me think after the credits rolled. This one tonight is just a damn fun ride. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
You can't have a bad time with Jason Segel. It's just impossible. So, any other thoughts on Over Your Dead Body?
No. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised with it. I will say I'm definitely going to check out that original one on Netflix. I like Timothy Olyphant. I think he's a great character actor, and he's Mickey Altieri. He's a silly. Pete's kind of silly, but he plays that off just a great effect. So it's always fun to see him. It was cool to see Ilkavilli at the end. I'm a big Alan Wake 2 fan, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, Jason Segel and Samara Weaving have shockingly good chemistry, I would say, particularly in those scenes where they're unraveling their marriage and then re-raveling their marriage and deciding to reconcile. I thought was great. Juliette Lewis, fantastic. I mean, hilarious. Surprisingly is what I'm looking for. Surprisingly gory with Todd's death, with Allegra's death. I was just, with the fingers getting cut off, with Michael's death. I was like, oh, they are not pulling any punches with regards to gore. Because the first half of the movie, save for the shot to Henry's kill shot,
and that's
save for that. It's you're not.
That's
they just shoot him in the chest. You see it in a PG-13 movie, right? It's like, oh, that's fine. And then second half, when the kills start coming in, you're like, oh.
Like it does have a big tonal shift, in a fun way.
No punches pulled.
So I was happy to see this, and ironically, I mean, we go from one comedic actor to another one next week, because Hokum has Adam Scott, and I'm currently in the middle of watching Severance, which I don't know if you've seen Severance, but
I didn't get Severance, but I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan, so
yeah. And I mean, who doesn't love Step Brothers? That's what I think of him in, is Step Brothers. And...
You're flat. You're so flat. The hell are you doing? It's horrible. Terrible. Your timing's off and you're flat on your notes.
Come on, we got Dane Cook pay-per-view, 20 minutes.
Let's go.
Yeah. I haven't had a carb since 2004.
I saw this guy eat a man's dick like Kobayashi. It was in international waters. Couldn't really press charges.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer. You just broke my nut. I missed my nut.
Sold a shit ton of opters. Yeah, so it'll be interesting, because also is a movie that obviously I'm going to try to go into it as completely blind as possible. But
I haven't looked at anything for this film. It's going to be
so. Aside from the trailers, all I know is that it is from the same director that did Caveat and Oddity. And
I love Oddity. I think I suggested it a couple weeks ago.
and I haven't seen Caveat, but Oddity. I was actually listening to a podcast today that went back to Oddity because Hokum's coming out, and I was just like, God damn, I got to rewatch that movie because it's so creepy.
Yeah.
But it's an Irish film, but this is the first time he's had an American actor in it, so I'm interested to see. But stylistically, if it's the same way, it should be pretty unnerving. And we didn't get the chance to see Oddity in theaters, so I'm sure that would hit differently.
100%. And I'm finding out like the more of these movies, like particularly the less known ones, I should say, not the big AAA films. I'm finding that going into them blind is actually giving me a better experience because I know I'm not expecting anything. So your point of like, I want to feel scared. That's the way to do it.
Right, and they don't tell you much about what the story is here. I think
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I see Adam Scott being terrified, and I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. He does work in some comedy in his movies too, so I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a mixed bag. But obviously, you mentioned Oddity is one that you recommended earlier. I'm just going to say my recommendation is The Trip on Netflix. That is the one that I'm going with. So, what is your recommendation?
Perfect one. So I had a fun weekend. Like I said, I obviously saw this movie. I went and saw Michael. I had some time at home because I didn't have too much going on, so I was browsing Shudder, and I rewatched this film because we did a whole episode on these ones. But I want to re-recommend to all of you guys, if you didn't watch VHS Halloween, go watch VHS Halloween. So obviously, go back. Oh my gosh, probably about 6 months now, maybe 7 months, and check out our VHS episode where we dissect them. If you haven't taken the time to watch VHS Halloween, I want to recommend that one to you guys. It's one we've talked about, so maybe you've seen it. But like I said, I had some time. I rewatched it this weekend, and there are some ones on there, man, that just do it. Fun size. I will never look at breastfeeding mother. Well, that's a horrible example. Breastfeeding the same way, I guess, is to say it. That first one is just otherworldly, man. And that one, it plays out like a Resident Evil game. And again, go check it. Go listen to the episode, guys. But if you haven't watched VHS Halloween, by all means, take some time. Check it out. It's so good.
Watch that because guaranteed when Halloween comes out next year, they're going to have a new theme and new VHS because Shudder has reinvigorated that series.
And we'll be right here talking about it.
Oh yeah, we did a whole ranking on our favorite segments and least favorite segments, and there's some heated discussions in that one. But ironically, I don't want to spoil the episode and won't tell you what our favorite was, but we actually agreed on our favorite segment.
Doesn't happen often.
Because there's like 25 that we talk about or something, and we end up at the very end agreeing on the same one.
It's almost like Haley's Comet. You only see it only happens once in a while, but when it does, it's big. And that was our Haley's Comet. We landed on the same one.
We're like, how in the fuck did that happen? But damn good one. VHS Halloween. That is definitely solid. Get the Shudder app. Check out The Trip and Over Your Dead Body. I would just suggest, if you were in America, to see the American version first and then go back and compare it to the Norwegian version. I'm interested to see if the Norwegian, people that did the movie, are they like psyched that it is like this? I feel like they probably had to have some permissions because it's like the exact same movie. But again, if you want to see it from a slightly different lens, or maybe you can't get out to the theater, watch The Trip on Netflix. It's a solid one. And other than that, we will see you for Hokum next week. Adam Scott, let's go. Scare the shit out of me. Scare me bad.
I'm ready to be terrified. I'm ready.
Let's go.
I want
no
to
more
be
bananas. I need a banana break. Okay.
Thanks for listening to the Roasted Snow Horror Show. Please follow us on our social media pages and tell your friends. Pretty please!